it's Brandon and Tony again with our next episode of Quality on Tap. And today we are going to talk about why people upgrade their water treatment equipment. We have had lots of customers lately. We've been doing a lot of work lately for people who wanted us to upgrade their water treatment equipment. And there's a variety of reasons why that we thought we could discuss with you here on this episode.
Yeah. So obviously the most obvious reason is if their older system just completely quit working. Obviously, if it quits working, you know right away that there's time to do something. But there's a lot of other reasons that people don't realize sometimes with the older systems how inefficient they can be. So even if your system's starting to get to that 15-year-old or so, you might start to think about that. That's a good time to give us a call to come out to evaluate your system, no matter if it's ours or if it's competitors or one that got put in by a plumber or someone a long time ago. We can come out and test the water, see how efficient that unit is working, then make possible upgrades or suggestions from them. They've made a lot of improvements in water treatment systems over the years. You'll find a lot of the older systems talking about water softeners in general that went on a time clock, which means obviously they cycled every set number of days per week. So it didn't matter if you're using a gallon of water or 1,000 gallons of water, they were going to cycle every second day or every third day. One, it's going to burn through a lot more salt. Two, it puts a lot more wear and tear on your unit, which can cause you obviously more money, with the salt and repairs and stuff like that. Newer units now are all meter initiated or on demand, what we call them, where they actually meter your water consumption. So they're set on a gallon setting, so they only cycle on a specific number of gallons. And that's calculated obviously by the size of the unit that we installed in your house. So those are the calculations and testing that we have to do on site and questions we ask to you to make sure we're sizing it properly for you. You'll find out a lot, and Tony does a lot of our follow-up calls. Yeah. So what's a common question or common concern they have when installing an old system to a new system they're asking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I follow up with all of our customers that who we've recently installed their equipment for. And when I'm following up on a water softener in particular, the customers always are concerned that they have not used or gone through as much salt. And it's because the new units are so much more efficient than the old unit that they had before.
Yeah, I mean, they're used to putting in 2-3 bags a month, where 2 or 3 bags might last several months now. So that's why we do that follow-up call to make sure everything's working. Sometimes we'll go out and we'll test the water just to make sure it is, or a lot of times they just need that, rest assurance that everything is working correctly to make sure they're getting their money's worth of what they just put in. So that's kind of the water softener side. Another side that's really big in our industry around here in Northwest Ohio is pond water treatment systems. So that's the people obviously it's using their pond water for their service water in their house. These systems have been around now for easily 40 years. A lot of those systems are out there, and a lot of those are very, very small compared to what they look like now. They revise those codes about every 4 or 5 years sometimes and make improvements to their water quality, advancements in how we can treat the water and how we can filter the water. So just because it was installed the way it was supposed to back in 1980 does not the same way we treat the water in 2024. So we do a lot of pond system upgrades too, and we'll bring those systems up to code. You're going to get a lot better filtration. You're going to make sure that water is going to be safe for you to consume and use for whatever you want it to.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the type of thing that we've really been working with our customers on here. It seems like a theme lately.
Yep.
We did a previous episode on preventative maintenance. So some of our other equipment, we really highly recommend preventative maintenance on the equipment. It helps it last longer. It's going to get you to that 15, 20 year
And that's when
mark.
we could see the stuff if something's changed. Did you add on to your house? Is there more people or less people in your house? The older systems don't know that. Where the newer systems are, they can tell your water consumption. They know if you're using more water and they need to cycle more often or less often. Well, the older units do not. If we set them up for every 3 days, and that was 25 years ago, and all the kids have moved away, it's still going every 2 or 3 days. So the newer units are a lot more efficient. They end up saving you a lot more money in the long run, and you get better quality from the newer units, obviously.
Yeah. So like we said, there's a variety of reasons why people are choosing to upgrade their water treatment equipment. They may want to add on to the equipment they already have. They may want to update the equipment that they have. Maybe they have old equipment like we talked about. Maybe they're renovating a space and or maybe they've purchased a home with no water treatment or old water treatment
Yep.
equipment.
So the best advice, give us a call, have us come out. We'll test the water, evaluate your system. It doesn't cost you anything for us to come out to do that initial consultation. From there, we'll make our suggestions, possible upgrades to the system, and give you some pricing so you know what you're kind of looking into. But that's always going to be the first step, is come out and just evaluate what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have to share with you today. Stay tuned for our next episode of Quality on Tap.